one that dances.
Let's go, James. Come on, show us what you got. Whoa! Yeah, baby. Give me the Ashfield Shuffle, baby. We're bringing the fun. We're bringing the thunder. We are Funder. Flesh and blood, down under. We have a very special guest today in the studio. Goes by the name, I hope we can use your real name, James. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yep, I'm James, worker of Chromatic Games.
Remember what we said before? You need to bring that microphone nice and close. Right. You know, like it's...
Yell at us.
Yeah. There we go. So, James works at an LGS, Chromatic Games, located in Ashfield, Sydney. We had the owner on Funder a couple of months ago, Andy.
Yep.
Ex-poker pro, now and blackjack dealer, now an LGS owner. And James has the pleasure of working for Andy, so we thought we'd come on and have a chat.
Oh, it's definitely a pleasure, yes.
Is Andy a bit of a prick or what?
Nah, I'd say he's a great manager, like compared to the other managers I had in the past, yeah.
All right. Well, tell us about it. How long have you been working at Chromatic for?
I know this because I recently checked my resume because I was going to move out.
Oh shit! Are you resigning on air?
No, like moving out of my house.
Okay.
Going to another place. No.
Sure.
Chromatic Games forever. I've been working since November 2021, and that's when like COVID kind of started picking back up. But yeah, that's how long I've been working. Yeah.
And had you worked in any other game stores before that, or
no? Chromatic Games is actually my first one.
Right.
And I learned from the ground up from Andy's and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. And have you always played games like, card games or what's your experience with TCGs in general?
From TCGs, I first started off collecting Magic and playing Yu-Gi-Oh when I was like, a little kid.
Yep.
My first pack I think it was one of Ravnica blocks.
Okay.
Cracked one up and we're like, oh, this is cool. Then I opened a core set one and then saw the duress with all. Duress?
Yeah.
Like the card was like, and there's just an elf with all the needles. I'm like, oh, this is scary. And opening another Yu-Gi-Oh pack. Went back to Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, that was around 2010. And around 2016, my friend properly introduced me to Commander, and that's when I started playing Magic. And from there, I kept on playing TCGs and just like branched off to a lot of TCGs and whatnot, yeah.
Would you consider yourself like a casual player or competitive? Did you like ever go to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, or you always just more of a casual?
I did go to some locals, like one Yu-Gi-Oh major, and I'm like, oh, this place stinks.
Well, it literally stinks.
Literally and figuratively, I guess. It's just so cramped, But yeah, in general, I just like, I see more of myself like casually for the games I just want to have fun with, but like competitive, I'm like, I sweat real hard on them. Yeah.
I got a funny one for you, James. So James is actually quite an animated employee. He's possibly my favorite LGS employee that I've ever encountered. Yeah, he constantly comes out with the most random things you've ever heard. But in one word, I'm going to go through each TCG. And in one word, you best describe the community that you've encountered for said TCG. So you just only got one word.
So you tell me.
So I'll say the name of a game, and you say the word best to describe that community.
You're trying to cancel me on Twitter right now, bro.
No. You'll be right. We're here for a bit of fun. So I'll start with something easy. Pokemon.
Children.
Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh.
Stinky.
Magic.
Sweaty.
Vanguard.
Weeb.
Weiss.
Weeb.
And Fab.
Goated.
Careful.
Did I miss any? Are there any other games you do in Chromatic? Is that all the TCGs? Did I miss anything?
I mean, we do Final Fantasy.
Okay, Final Fantasy.
Dead.
What's the one that you guys can't run tournaments for?
Cannot run tournaments for One Piece at the moment.
No, but you had one because there was an LGS too close to you or something.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well,
isn't there like a full
Final
anime
Fantasy
LGS near you guys?
Near us? Not that I know of. The only one that I know of is Strike One, but then I think the full anime one you're talking about is like Alliance Games and Kingsford.
Okay.
But I just remember Andy going, he wanted to run tournaments for one game and then he couldn't because it was like too close.
Oh, it's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Dragon Ball maybe.
No, I think it was Yu-Gi-Oh.
Was it Yu-Gi-Oh?
At the time.
Okay, that's changed?
It's because how they have the rules set out is that LGSs for some reason had to be like a particular distance away, but they were too close.
Yeah.
But then Andy was like, "Oh, fuck it," and sent OTS like the Yu-Gi-Oh TOs and organizers like photos of the place, and they're like, "Hey, this place is quite big."
Yeah.
And they sent us like they actually gave us
That's
permission
good.
to run
Okay.
that shit. Yeah.
And Dragon Ball? No?
Dragon Ball, not that I know of. Yeah.
Does anyone play that anymore? Some people.
No,
play.
I heard it took a turn for the worse recently. That's what I've heard. I've heard it sort of was like a rocket. It just sort of went up, and now it's just crashed down. And often those games, that happens, right? Like you've seen that with Keyforge. Star Wars Destiny, not so much. It had a bit more organic growth, but a lot of games I've seen over the time, they come up.
People are saying, maybe you give us your opinion, One Piece is about to crash because there's no stock for 3 months. That's what'll kill it, is if you can't sustain growth if there's no
Is
stock.
it just one set with this one piece?
At the moment,
Oh,
one
right now,
set.
yeah. The next set is in
currently,
3 months.
Yeah.
But so there's no stock to it.
However, it's like for Bandai TCG games like One Piece, like Dragon Ball and whatnot, getting shipment to Australia is kind of hard at the moment. And it's always been like that for a while. And especially when it comes to getting promos in like an OCE region, there's only like so many limited supplies because the majority of the English print ones will either be at Singapore or USA, from what I heard.
Yep.
Yeah. So when it comes to like OCE secondhand market for those kind of promos and those kind of products, they kind of have to upsell it, especially in secondary market because stock is so scarce here.
What's your favourite part about working in an LGS? Is it like running events? Is it selling product? Is it buying? Does Andy let you do any buying? Do you buy cards yourself? Is he taking the training wheels off?
I buy cards myself, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but then I think the best part about working in the LGS is definitely running events, because you get to meet like the community, meet new people, meet old faces, and just like talk shit kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think? You've probably seen a lot of good events in your store. You've probably seen some events that didn't go to as planned. What do you think the secret sauce is there to running a successful event, regardless of whatever game it is?
I mean, I think the secret sauce is more or less like harassing people on Facebook, be like, "Oh, we have Dominaria Remastered launch event on January 13th and 15th." That's a little shout out, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And
no one listens to this podcast, man.
I don't. Oh yeah, I guess. But I think it's more about like sharing the information, sharing it to as many group pages as possible, and having like a lot of like people talking about the event, saying, "Oh, you want to come to this event," kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because John and I often say that. It's advertising, isn't it? Like so many events will happen, whether it's an armory or not. You don't know the freaking things are on.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't know things exist. Because a lot of times, like, the amount of random people that come up to the store and that they're like, "I've never seen this place before. I come down here like 500 times a week." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." kind of stuff. And then
I wonder what the solution is, though. Because like Flesh and Blood anyway. The Facebook group for Oceania is like the big one for sales. It's like whatever it is, 2.9K people, right? But that's Asia as well.
Yeah.
There's a Sydney. Is there a Sydney Flesh and Blood group on
There
Facebook?
is. There is. The Dark Lord made it.
Okay, but
Yeah,
I don't.
It's not active.
Yeah, so that's my point. So there's a Sydney one, but it doesn't seem like
Doesn't get used much.
it's there for that. You know what? Where's Noah Knuckley, man? It was his job for a while. I think that's the problem when someone spearheads it and then disappears. Is we just need like, I would make the landing page, but you just need like anyway. We're talking about Flesh and Blood, but it's probably for other games too.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
There's a place where people know they can go check for an event. Like the Flesh and Blood website is not the most user friendly. But like, where would you put them? Like when we meet people in stores, they have no idea. We'll like add them to this group, add them to this group. Like they haven't organically found shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And only like once every few months will I see someone on like Flesh and Blood Australia jump on and go, "Hey guys, I'm a new player." Like that's once, like that's not like we get 10, 15 people a week join the trade group. We get maybe 3-4 people a week. I see new people in armories. But then you get like nobody like on these groups. I wonder what I think that's like actually maybe partnering with all the LGSs. Like if you had a page and then you contacted all the LGSs to promote the page and allow them to advertise on it. You know what I mean? So it goes both ways. So like and no trades. It's just purely for events.
Yeah.
Learn to plays and stuff. Flesh and Blood's website is like works. You can put in your address and fine.
Like, do you? Like, I think you make a good point too. I think something like that should be run
by the stores.
Yeah, or even run by someone that's not sort of with one of those stores.
Sure.
I don't know because I don't have an LGS, but is there, like, do the LGSs communicate? Are you aware of, like, chat groups that all the LGS managers or owners are in for different games, like a Yu-Gi-Oh?
There's a Flesh and Blood one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, right.
I do ask other people. There are, like, group chats for particular TCGs for Sydney, for Australia and whatnot. And it's not just LGS. I also ask, like, community members, and they're like, oh, yeah, there is. I'm like, all right, invite me.
Yes.
And then I only talk like once every 3 weeks, but I'm scouting the group chat, see what they want. For example, with Vanguard, a lot of people didn't know Chromatic games existed, and I'm like, and when I joined the group chat, they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Chromatic Games," and they're like, "Where's that?" And I'm like, "Ashfield," and they're like, "Oh."
Yeah, Ashfield's very central.
Yeah,
like a lot of people can get there.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, "I didn't know you were there," and I'm like, "Oh, well." I was posting on your Facebook group and
Does
whatnot.
Andy run ads?
Does Andy run ads? He does make ads and whatnot, and I just share them around group chats.
Yeah, no, I think for like if I had a store in Ashfield, I'd probably be putting in $50 a week in just Facebook ads.
Oh, fair enough.
Like because the cost per click's very low for like gaming, so you'd run a Vanguard one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on Facebook you can pick your demographic, but you can actually find me people that have liked this group.
Oh, all right.
Right? So you can say people that like Vanguard Sales and Trade Sydney, advertise to them on Thursdays for my Friday night event. And Facebook will do it for you. And it's honestly cheap. It's dirt cheap. But then you can also use Insta and, you know, because I feel like maybe it should be the like LSS for Flesh and Blood doing it. Because if there was a fleshandblood.com.au, even if it was community run, but like a affiliate with LSS, do you know what I mean? Where the judge team ran it. Because then if you Google Flesh and Blood Australia, like Sydney, or Flesh and Blood enter, but you're from Australia, it finds that site, which is tailored to Australia. Australian content creators, Australian TCG singles websites, Australian LGSs.
Oh, yeah, I have a funny thing for this because when Andy was like researching about Flesh and Blood, when it was like very early, he just typed in fab.
Yeah, you'll find
nothing. Just fab, and it's just like what's in like Mardi Gras parade and whatnot. And I'm like, and then he's like, James, what's this? This isn't Flesh and Blood. And I'm like, oh no, you have to be very
James
specific.
is like, what are you doing in my browser history?
And like, no, this is my work computer.
So you guys have built up quite the community. Specifically, I know for Magic, you are doing good things out there. You got a big draft community that use the store every week, and I see your pre-releases. You've had some of those. I don't know even what they're called in Magic anymore. The Satellite, the Pioneer tournaments, the Oz Ape. I don't know what they're called.
Oz Animat?
Yeah, you've had. I don't know. You've had some bigger.
We've had some. We had Bushy Race. BCS.
You've had a few things there. But how about the Fab community? How's that gone over the last, say, 12 months?
I mean, it's gone up and down, up and down, up and down kind of thing. However, like we do have some consistent players coming in, like basically you expect to see every Friday.
Every Friday, yeah.
And I'd say, like, now that we changed the price support system, I think it's became a bit more casual. Like something that's more for a place for them to learn rather than compete in.
Okay, so you have flattened the price structure.
Yeah, we kind of changed. Andy did kind of change the price structure a bit, where everyone contributes 2 packs to the pool.
Okay,
and then it becomes like a ranking system for there, like whoever and that kind of stuff. And it just became like, oh yeah, we technically pay for 2 packs. We're competing, but it's also like we're kind of learning together, kind of thing. Just like we're more of a local scene kind of stuff.
When Andy was doing his armories on a Tuesday and I was able to attend, one thing I did appreciate what he was doing back then. I'm not too sure what you were doing now, but I remember like often when I first started playing in armories and they'd have the playmats that they'd give out at random, right? But just say you weren't there that night, they were giving out the playmat. Usually you didn't know which night it was. Like you just missed, right? And I liked what Andy did to reward loyalty. Every time you turned up, to an armory or an event, you got an extra entry.
Yeah.
So if you'd been to all the armories in the month, well, you had 4.
Or miss one. Like you go to 3 but miss the one when they draw them out, your name is still in the
Your
draw.
name's still there. So
Which is good.
that is a
good.
very good. Do you guys still do that?
Oh yeah, we still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still do the lucky door thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that because it rewards loyalty. You know, you want to get back into. I remember a store out in Penrith I used to play Magic with way back when, and they had a cash price system. So you'd go to your F&M like an armory every Friday. You'd pay you whatever $10-15, and then after 3 months, they'd have first, second, and third prize. Like first prize would be 200, second prize would be 100, third prize would be 50. So it's not huge amounts of cash, but they do a point system. So how many wins you got over the 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months, they'd have a little prize giving at the end of the night. And it was awesome because it really got people wanting to go like to as many Fridays as they could in that 3 month block because there was a couple $100 on the line.
This may be the downside of Fab's organized play, because the promos are so good and the playmats are so good that the shops don't feel the need to be creative. Do you know what I mean? Like if that was happening in Magic or other games, like you can run that all yourself. If there was no price support from Flesh and Blood, you would take $5 out of the $10 entry, put it in a pool, run a tournament for a month or 2, and then at the end like you would do that. I think it doesn't happen because, but we've talked about this. That's the LGS's job. Like we can have the ideas, but the one LGS that'll do it better will attract more people. Like if you know there's an LGS where the price support is higher, people go. But also if it's like that, if it accumulates, if you get, if it's like a couple of $100 you're playing for by the end of it, if you have to pick between a couple of stores, you might just go to the one that has a tournament, like Grimdark running the belts and like that.
Win a case,
the turnout of a ProQuest. Even though there was no ProQuest, no PTI on the line, nothing.
No.
It's just cash and a playmat.
Yeah, and the belt.
Yeah. Well, Roy went back down there, didn't wear the belt. What the fuck? You're the champion. You come in here with the belt.
I would have worn that belt to Worlds,
That's
baby.
what I mean.
I would have worn that belt to Bells and let it know.
Down on the table.
Like, I'm the Grimdark belt champion, motherfuckers. I would have come into Worlds swinging that around.
You have a ring girl just walking around with you, carrying it.
That'd
for
be
you.
sick. But I've got something that also has come to mind. So every month we get a different armory kit, different promos. Have you ever, or maybe you have or haven't, have you seen player attendance correlate to what type of armory kit? So if people perceive that those promos for that month are worth more, do you see attendance go up? Because, obviously I know why they did the shitty Xmas present, because people go away, right? So generally they think this time of year attendance will be at its lowest, therefore will probably, not have cold falls on the line. Have you seen that attendance drops off and it peaks when there might be a valuable cold foil?
On December was a shitty Christmas present. I think it was at its most consistent, but that's more because we're starting to build up a more local scene rather than like people splitting off from coming from different areas. But yeah, I can kind of see that happening because in regards to Quicksilver Dagger 1, where it's like complete dookie kind of card.
Don't tell Phil that.
Oh no! If he listens, then I'll stand by my word. It's kind of dookie.
You hear that, Phil?
It's big fat dookie.
Phil,
but not many people went for that Quicksilver.
No,
dagger.
correct.
No.
Yeah.
But
I don't even have
yeah.
one. You're right. Like I didn't get one.
But when it's something like,
Didn't even care.
but let's say it's something like the Cut to Chase promos that we're getting. I think more people, and with the new the assassin support that's coming out in the next set, I think people are just gonna be like, I need it.
I'm surprised they didn't do a surgical extraction promo. I'm serious. No, with all the complaining,
that'd be pretty cool.
Just you can win instead of a cold foil, you can win a foil surgical extraction.
Yeah, like extended
like an extended arm.
Yeah, that
Wouldn't that, you don't think that'd drive people to the store?
That'd be a 6 skirmish prize.
That would be, yeah.
They won't do it. It's a Majestic. They haven't really been doing that, like with Majestics.
No,
They're keeping Majestics for sets. Like you got to open boxes.
Like, bro, the extended art one that they were like, to hype up Arachne was fucking regicide, man.
It's a great card.
It's lovely, yeah.
It's not strong.
It's not strong. It's a great card, and it's
Yeah.
like the skill ceiling to use that
But
card.
I
is pretty
but I
high.
think skirmish season is going to educate people on just what's what in Blitz
Oh,
because I
fair
don't think
enough,
anyone
yeah.
has a clue right now. Like on the inside, like the really good players that have won skirmishes. I mean, Emperor is pretty fucking strong. Which makes
Yeah,
Regicide
yeah.
kind of scary
It does, yeah.
because you can actually, if they triple razor pump it,
Mm.
right, game's over. Doesn't matter what life you're on. Doesn't like literally says the game ends.
Yeah.
Have you been playing much Blitz lately, John?
Blitz, no.
No, I haven't either. I
It's all
just think
CC, which by the way is good because now I'll look forward to Blitz when it
Yeah.
comes back around. We do Sundays, which is an on-demand. I do that to meet new players, but I haven't been because public holidays have landed on weekends, so they haven't fired.
Do you think Dromai could be good in Blitz?
She's very good in Blitz.
Yeah,
So that's what I play is either Dromai Red Line,
right.
and I beat Reinhardt with it,
Mm.
which is surprising. But I'm not running. So the way the deck is, it's like D-reacts, and then it's strong phantasmal stuff, but then all the like Ravenous Rabble, Blaze Headlong, and the zero cost dragons, like a lot of good, solid red attacks. A lot of them don't have Phantasm, so you can actually, depending what your hand looks like, either turtle up or you can still go like wide into something like Reiner. Also, if you force Reiner to pop your thing, he does a lot less damage the next turn. But it's either that or Reiner. But I think Dromai and Blitz is very strong. You just can't play it like CC. It's not a fatigue control. There's no second cycle. You have to have nutty turns.
Yeah.
Like, have you played Dromai? Or
I play
against Dromai?
I played against Dromai here and there,
Go. 5-5-8
yeah.
is a combo. 5-5, command and conquer. You go Dunebreaker, command and conquer. That's not a hard hand to pull off.
Goliath gauntlets.
Not even if it's 6
Yeah.
command and conquer. But yes, you could Goliath gauntlets. Into Wizard, you just pop your gauntlets as soon as possible, make AB 3 or 4 immediately, and then make some more Ashwings. Oh, look, I have AB 7 and a Chromai out. So you just pitch everything you have into AB, and then you swing with Chromai, swing with an Ashwing, pass. And they can't, like, stop and get rid of your Ashwings, you know?
I'm really looking forward to playing Blitz again. Like you said, when you have a bit of break from Blitz,
I'm happy the stores have listened this season.
I know.
It's like, hey,
first time.
ProQuest is coming up. Can we stop fucking running Blitz? And they all listened.
Yeah,
We were like, oh,
they did.
wait, we can play CC? Like, for the first time, we've been playing CC twice
Twice a week I've been playing CC.
which
Never
is
happened.
amazing. But it's good practice. It's good experience. And then when Skirmish comes around, let's all go back to Blitz. It's fine. Now, that in and of itself is a problem because we want to play CC, but the casual or the new player might want to play Blitz. But that's also the other thing that they didn't listen to this season. Can we not all go, like, not everyone should be doing, like, one store should always be the outlier. I think you still got From the Deep is running Blitz, but that's not really central. But that's why it's weird to me that all, like, the central stores, like the ones that are accessible, like Parramatta, Central City, you know what I mean? Like, there's the hubs. We just lost that with RC, but if you had, like, those stores talking and making sure they're alternating formats would work. But
What do you think, like, since you've been at Andy's a while and you've probably seen new players join Fab, and I'm sure you've seen players come in for a few months and leave. Have you, maybe you've had discussions with them, why do you think someone that's played Fab for, 3, 4, 6 months and then decides to shelve it, what do you think the reason why might be?
In regards to like people actually leaving Fab, I think it's a skill ceiling in general. It's a hard game to play.
Yeah.
It's a very hard game. Like your decision.
I disagree. I think it's easier to play. It's hard to be good at.
It's
easy to learn.
Yeah, it's easy to
Yeah,
learn.
yeah.
But it's very hard to win an
'Cause,
armory. Like we've known
yeah.
players that have played for 6 months that just won their first armory.
Like what I'm saying is like, oh, it's like everyone can count to 3, right? Everyone can know that blue is 3 pitch. I pitch this, I get 3. Yeah, everyone can fucking
1,
count.
2, 3.
Like 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, okay, easy. But when it comes to like actually like making those kind of long term decisions, it really does hit you, especially when especially like when LGSs are like trying to like push CC or they're not really alternating stuff, it does become like more daunting for new players, in my opinion. And then, as you said, Andy and I were discussing this. I think like this was a while ago, like when Fab was first, like picking up into leading to CC at Chromatic, is that he was thinking maybe move it to CC, and then alternate between Blitz and then left and right Blitz and CC, like in different week kind of stuff. But in the end, I think we lean more onto like a poll kind of thing where we ask the group chat, so do you guys want Blitz or CC today? And they'd be like, CC?
Yeah.
And then for the people who do play Blitz, if they do come in, but then I don't have a CC deck, what Andy does is like he provides them with a pre-built CC deck. That
Nice.
I think the danger is, this is what I've noticed. The problem with that poll, there's no new players voting on it.
Yeah.
They're not in the chat yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So my opinion is, and this is something that every store in Australia is guilty of this, I do not see any learn to plays being advertised ever. The game, like, the time you should stop doing learn to plays is when you're actually 80% capacity. Like, if your store can fit 30 and you constantly have 20, maybe you don't need to, like, like, RC Crew wouldn't have needed to run learn to plays, right? There's a solid community going before they stopped running events.
Seems like Central probably doesn't need to
but
either.
even like Blood Rush to a point, because of how that community is, you don't need to run learn to plays because the whole store is a learn to play. Like, if you turn up, it's less corporate. It's like, you're usually not going to Blood Rush because you walked in to buy some packs and you saw people. But the people are going, it's a destination, right? People drive an hour to get there. But stores like Ashfield, I think what you should be doing is once a month, full-blown advertising in your shop to every event. There's Weiss, whatever. You're going, guys, here's a pamphlet, or guys, it's free entry, you get a Blitz deck, come learn to play Fab.
And Andy did a couple of those in the past.
But what I'm saying is that's the thing you just have to I'll Jiu-Jitsu example at 27 minutes.
Ooh, there we go.
In Jiu-Jitsu, there's advanced classes. There's classes you just do not want to go in, right, when you're new. It's quite daunting. There's even formats of Jiu-Jitsu, like no-gi, is quite a lot more taxing because, anyway, like there's certain, it's similar. Always have to have beginner classes. Now, a martial arts gym or a boxing gym, they run that easily because they're sort of open all week for one thing, like they do like, you know what I mean? So they go, there's advanced classes at 8 and there's 6 p.m. as beginners, and that's what they do. But in Fab, it's not done because there's like one event, one night a week. So the rest of the week, if I walked in and said, hey, James, can you teach me how to play Fab? You'd be like, hell yeah, grab decks, play. But I don't think that happens. I think people check a website, or like the passive, the person that you're not hearing from, is checking and going, ooh, it's CC, cool, I want to learn Fab. They go figure out CC is an 80-card deck with a sideboard, like, ooh. And then they go price it, and they're like, it's $1,500 for a CC deck. And they're like, I'll just play Commander with my friends. It's not that they're not interested, but if you constantly have a thing in their face, they'll miss this month's, but they'll go next month. They'll go. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah,
this month I had a wedding, but next month that Sunday works for me, and they'll turn up.
Yeah,
I think we just don't do enough of it. Like literally a sign on the wall going, second Sunday every month, learn to play Flesh and Blood. And you just get a couple of your locals to come and run it, which is what I did recently. And we did teach 3 new people how to play Flesh and Blood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't need more than one person to come every month. You have 12 new people in a year. That's actually like probably double. But I think the problem is the game is actually way too new and small to expect people to do it all in the community.
For sure.
Do you get what I mean? Like you said, you only started playing Commander like a year after you opened some Magic packs because someone brought you in.
Yeah. I think it's like 3 years.
3 years
of like just opening packs.
But the whole game is 3 years for Fab. That's why it needs like a little bit more babying. Does that make sense? That's what I think anyway. I think the learn to plays, or if all you're doing is very heavily advertising, come to our events, we will supply a deck, and if you're new, it's free entry. Like the same as MMA gyms, they'll do free classes. They'll go free classes for a week, free entry classes. Like, just make sure everyone in your store knows if they come to Flesh and Blood or any other game, it's the same logic. We'll give you a deck and we'll show you how to play.
Do other gaming companies offer support for learn to plays?
That too, How does it work with every other game?
Like support as like
just in general, like they're how do you see those? Like One Piece is new. You're not running it. You said though.
No.
What's a game that do something really good to get new people in the game from a store level?
When I think about, I think White Schwartz does a very
But
good.
what do they do?
Of course they have licensed companies.
Sure.
Like license it. But when it comes to their trial decks, a lot of it is like you can play straight out of the box, and it's actually a competitive deck.
Okay.
Because a lot of the game is just like maths, right? What's the word? Calculating possibility as well as controlling possibility.
So it's bringing people in. Just correct me if I'm wrong. I've watched an anime. I see that Weiss have a set for that anime. Maybe I've even opened it to collect, but now I want to play. Yeah. You're saying pretty much they're all similar numbers, like it's a different it's a different anime maybe or different.
A lot of it may be different animes and different series and whatnot. However, a lot of the cards in Weiss have like very similar effects, right?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
so
like
it's more like
copy paste and whatnot.
Yeah, you're bringing me in based on I like this.
Yeah.
One Piece is obviously doing that. People love the franchise, the watching it. Then they've jumped in, and people are saying that game's similar enough to Dragon Ball, right? It's
it's a Bandai game.
It's a Bandai game, so it's not hard to learn it if you've got some. Okay, so but that's a little different because. Maybe the key there is, though, we do lack that with Flesh and Blood.
So you're saying strong precons, basically.
Essentially. Like
there's good out-of-the-box decks that someone can pick up
for sure.
and they can compete in an event.
Yeah, like legit, I think it was like one major. Someone forgot their deck and was like, oh, okay. Like looks around at the vendor, has a trial deck. He picks it up, sleeves it up, registers that as his deck, and he wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend, Mr. Gordon, did something very similar at a big F&M. He bought, I don't know if he forgot his deck, but he bought a Magic Precon, a Gruul deck, which was red-green, and he won with it. Right?
So someone being talented already doesn't need help. So the entry to the game, if you're like good enough mathematically or just experiencing card games, because Dev's like insane, right? So his ability to do that is not common, but also he wouldn't be shy about turning up to an armory. He would skip the learn to play. That's the type of person he is. But you're right. And by the way, I'm doing this. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I want to build competitive blitz decks and sell them, like proper pro level decks. And the only way I'll sell the deck is if the person who wrote the deck list shows me they won an armory with it or can win an armory with it. Like I don't want bad decks. But I want to make them on my store for the YouTube channel
that's
because we figured out Reinhardt does not need legendaries to win. No. Right? Reinhardt can quad into you and kill you with like nothing now. Look. With beaten trackers and stuff, you actually don't need any expensive cards in the deck, right? Well, Alpha Rampage is probably the most expensive card in that deck and 100% negotiable whether you put it in or not, right? Like most Reinhardt players don't run Alpha. Like that's true.
Yeah.
So that's we think it's a $50 deck that in the hands of a good player wins a skirmish. That needs to be sold every day of the week. Yeah. But I think Dromai and Fire are similar. I think those red line decks, they don't require like Command and Conquer. They don't require legendaries. Like Dromai, ideally you have Furnace, but that's not like a $300 card. But if you don't have Furnace, you run Deep Blue. It works. But you have to build around that one pop-off turn. You pitch into the Deep Blue and you go, right? Like you just have to... Wizard's the same. You don't have to have this, like, the boots.
Yeah.
And without the boots, the deck is cheap. So you put Mage Master and you just have to understand that you're killing them on your turn, not their turn, more or less. Like your big pop-off turn is you have a 6 and a 6. That's 12. They have AB3. You do the maths. Okay, I can kill them. Boom, pop Mage Masters and... You do 2/6 arcane attacks and they die. But I think that's what's missing in Fab. Our precons are like...
They're pretty dookie.
Well, actually, the issue is, and what you said is completely right, Fab's like, you grab Bolton. Bolton is not the same logic to play as Dromai is.
Yeah.
Like when I first played Bolton, I'm like, charge, and then put something in Soul. Like all that is way too complicated for someone coming off like not playing card games before. It's just... So it's hard to go from that into winning your first event. That is a much longer road than something where it's like a bit copy paste. So if you understand if you've played or
Yeah.
even if you played Weiss 5 years ago,
Yeah.
you can jump in with a precon and
Yeah, like Andy was like, "Hey James, you want to play Weiss?" And then brings out a deck from like 2013 or something. I'm
still works.
And then, dude, he destroyed me with it. And I'm like the new kid on the block with like something like 3 paragraphs of text. And then I read a card with two lines of text. I'm like, this card's broken.
Fab's like that now.
Yeah.
It's like Command and Conquer. It's just
Or
like,
like raw erased face.
yeah.
And like I'm like play testing with like Andy's spy deck, and he's like, erased face. I'll read it. I'm like, the fuck is this card?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny. I took like the quintessential spike, like the magic spike, right? Right, complete spike, but in a lot of ways a bit of a Timmy as well. I introduced him to Flesh and Blood last week. I took him out twice. I took him once to play informally adjacent to an armory, and then he played in his first armory, and it was really interesting talking to him about how he felt his experience was in the game, and something that he really didn't enjoy at all was when Fab gets into a game state where you basically just have to block out or you die, and you're in that loop where no escape, and you might be hoping for them to draw a dud hand or something. And he said, look, and I said, yeah, but you're in that spot for a reason. You got there because you were doing things wrong 4 or 5 turns. He goes, Paul, I know that. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm just saying being in that spot sucks. And he goes, it didn't feel good. And he goes, I haven't felt like that in other games before.
Yes.
And he goes, that spot felt bad. He goes, I understand I shouldn't be getting myself in that spot. I need to learn a lot and get better.
But as a new player, you end up there too often.
He was there a lot.
Well, my advice, what's his name?
Corey,
K-Dog,
K-Dizzle.
I'll meet you eventually,
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure,
will.
if you're a local. First of all, that's why we like CC. Because CC, okay, what I'm trying to say is if you're in that spot in Blitz and you're on one and they're on one, but they have tempo,
Yeah.
it's just like sometimes you just block for 10 minutes and die.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. You just because you're hoping you're playing to a win con that is them bricking, not you winning.
Yeah.
Second, if that was happening in CC, usually the life totals might be 20-1. So really, you're in that state. But if you look, you should just concede if you're sick of blocking because it's not gonna. There's no way out. Like Kodachi lock with Ira decks used to be like that. Like you can't let yourself get to 1 versus a ninja. Like you're not. You know, we know that now. You just won't win. There's no win. But I think that's a sign of quite a high ceiling competitive game. Is you need to make it's like chessboard states. No one wants to draw in chess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They avoid that as much as they can. But also sometimes that's the whole strategy is a draw in chess. That's a very complicated game. There's some states that you can get to. It's relying on one of you making a mistake for someone to win because otherwise you're very evenly matched. Fab feels like that. At a high level, it's like a game of inches. It's not. But it's not a game of inches if you're the new player and you're constantly, everything's hitting me for 7 and I have to block 3 cards. But I've learned to like that because you can get people in that where they fuck up once, like my Dawnblade is hitting for 7. It's like, oh baby, this is not a fun place to be. There's all the break points, right? But maybe that's also a type of deck. Because what was he playing?
So that was just the first night we did a lot of Iron Mirrors, and then he did the Precon 5 Blitz Mirror, and then for the Armory, he played Dash. Go White Dash.
Yeah, so I what I was about to say, so I'm correct with my assumption, or maybe I'm correct with my assumption. I think new players should always play decks that have D-reacts in them. Super high value. Because you know how you avoid that scenario completely? Is blocking with 1 D-react instead of 2 cards. That's usually, right? That's how we play. Or armor instead of cards. That's how you steal tempo back. So I would never, ever give a new player... I've started realizing that. I'd rather new players are on Dromai. Dromai is a deck that you can go super tanky or super aggro.
So like mid-range kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the problem with Fi, Fi can't fucking block.
Yeah,
if you put D-reacts in Fi, it's just a shit deck. And Dash is a little like that in Blitz. You can't
That was
really...
in CC.
But in CC, was he playing pistol? Because if you taught him to play control dash, he would never be in that scenario.
No,
Do
we
you
didn't have
understand
to.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? No, I'm not.
yeah.
But you get what I'm saying?
Of course.
Is if your deck has sync belows in it, then you can explain to Corey immediately, go, when you see this card, Arsenal it, and when you feel like if you decide wrong, you're going to be stuck blocking the rest of the game, this is when I want you to throw armor in the sync below and keep your cards and get tempo. Because it's tempo is what we're talking about, is you get stuck out of tempo with no way back in. That's because the armor and there's no D-react, so armor was using correctly. That's how Fab works. It's not that complicated. This first thing you learn in Blitz is when to block with armor. Because people block turn 0, you're like, no, don't do that. Put it back. You need that later. People are like, why? Why? I'm like, you know what I mean? The new player...
I just said, because he's the hyper-competitive person where he hates losing so much, and that could lead to him not continuing the game because he's just so hyper competitive. And he was a very good Magic player, right? Very good. So I said to him, listen, the Fab learning curve is steep, right?
It's worth it though.
Once I'm saying not the basics, okay? He picked up Ira,
of course,
after midway through his first game of Fab, he knew how to play the Ira deck, right? Like he knows how to play games. But I said after that, the learning curve, especially now, because a lot of people are more entrenched in the game than when I first started. I said, the learning curve is so steep, but only you have the power to smoothen that out. Like, if you like this game and you don't want to get thrashed week in, week out at different armories, spend the next month putting in some time, listening to podcasts, watching matches,
just grinding Talasha.
Reading stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Grinding Talasha, that's a good one.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
You can soften that learning curve or not. Right?
I've realized something. Maybe you can shed some light because you play way more games than I do. Watching like Magic gameplay content, I watch the Professor stuff like Shuffle. It's very casual, but Magic and I think a lot of other games have themes. That's why they have names for decks. Fab doesn't have themes. Just because you sit in front of a warrior doesn't mean you know what the fuck's happening, because there's no two warrior decks alike. Dorinthia is a type of deck. Sure, we can argue that. But even Dash is not a type of deck. You're like, oh, Dash, they're going to have Pounder, blah. And then suddenly they're like, no. I'm just shooting my pistol. There's no Pounder. It's going to reload, shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot. So the typical Magic player is used to sitting down and not reading the opponent's cards. Even if they haven't played for 10 years, you would do the same. If we played a game of Pioneer or Modern or whatever we played, if you immediately recognize I'm playing red or black or a mixture of whatever colors, you immediately know.
Well, within the first two tones, I'd know the archetype.
Correct, because you're seeing what lands are playing, right?
Yeah.
And you may not need to know. You don't need to know the exact deck anymore, but you know, okay, he's got counterspell. I think every color has counterspell these days in Magic, right? Like it's a common copy paste thing is what I'm referring to. Well, Fab doesn't have that. The closest we have to that is, does that deck run D-reacts or not? Does it run attack reacts or not? That's pretty much the only thing like you should know as a new player, which is in one of my videos, and everyone says the same. It's like, try and ask, like, does that have go again? Do you have a way to give it go? 'Cause that's really our archetypes is D-react, attack react. Is it a go wide or a go tall?
Yeah.
But aside from that, you got Arachne banishing your shit. You got Dory's weapon getting fat. You know what I mean? You got Fi doing 17 attacks in a row, and Briar going from this piddly little deck with Rosetta Thorn to dealing 40 damage and drawing 10 cards. Like you actually can't guess that as a new player. You have to experience it, lose to it, and hopefully in the meantime you ask some questions. I had a sub on YouTube. Watch one of my streams. Dale, his name is actually. Shout out to Dale.
Hey Dale.
He messaged me. Goes, hey man, like, what is he? South Australia or something? I can't remember, but he's Aussie. I got him to watch the video I did, the new player verse.
Yeah.
So he watched that. He won 2 games, even though we were talking about assume you're going to lose all your games. Try and at least have figured out what Dory does or whatever. He still won. Why? Because he grinded Talishar and he did ask questions. So really, when you're probably as a competitive Magic player have that going against you as you're confident, so you may not be asking. But then you're also trying to guess, like, okay, I've seen a deck like this before, but it's actually in Fab. Each hero is so unique. Like,
I got what you mean. Because, like, have you heard the term splashable in TCGs? Like, this card is splashable? Okay. I think you...
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
And I think this is magic talk again, but around the time of, I believe it was New Phyrexia, they introduced cards with Phyrexian mana. So instead of paying for blue or something, you instead can play 2 life.
Right.
So let's say a card like Ataxian Probe, it's either you can either pay blue or you can pay 2 life for it.
So you can pay life
Yeah,
instead
play
of
the card.
resource.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then how it read was, look at your opponent's hand, draw a card. So it replaces itself after. So every deck during that time period was
Ran it.
running Gitaxian Probe simply because it was splashable. I think like the most splashable cards in Fab right now are the D reacts like Sync Blows, your Oasis Respite, for the Wizard matchup and whatnot, yeah? And like let's say Mini-Wisdom Belittle, that's also splashable.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yep. You can fit it. You make it fit anywhere.
You can fit it. You can fit it anywhere. Yeah. However, I think in terms of Fab, they already solidified themselves as a tempo game.
Yes.
So in let's say you're playing Wizard, but then a lot of people are like, oh, this is splashable. Like, and you come from other TCGs or you're new. You're not going to know if Mini-Wisdom and Belittle's going to be good in your fucking deck.
No.
Right?
And it's not good in Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you saying there's less splashable cards in
There's
Fab?
less splashable cards, but I think it's also like what makes it harder for newer players to learn is because there's less splashable cards, there's less generic things for them to do. Because like you did mention, every class is unique on their own. Because Dash just shits out cards like it's nothing. Fucking, what's it? Katsu, he's struggling on like, Sandling support saying, can I please have that first hit, sir? Can I please discard a card, please? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I did think through but the video I made, and the quick points was, as a new player, I can't remember the exact order, but it's very important to ask if a card has go again. And an extra question is, can it gain go again? And always look at the foot slot, because that's most decks will get go again from those boots. Yeah. That's how you learn the game quickly is by don't read the whole card, because they'll tell you, they have to tell you how much damage it's doing. They can't try and gotcha moment. You know what I mean? Like it's a 4, but you buffed it to 5. They have to tell you it's 5 in the rules. So ask, how much is hitting for? Does it have an on hit? Does it have go again? Yeah. Once you work out those 3 things, there's obviously some other stuff in the game to learn, but those 3 things will help you with tempo a lot. That's when you block with armor. That's when you use a D react, because it's still common. You sit in front of a new player, you go, you'll attack them with something silly like a Ravenous Rabble for 4, and they throw 2 pieces of armor at it, and they're on 20 life, and you're like, ooh, baby, don't do that.
You're like,
you know what I mean? Like,
wait a minute. Yeah.
But that's the generic part of Fab that you need to catch up to as quick as you can. We don't block raw damage in Fab. We use, if you have a fridge, we use that for tempo. And D-React go in Arsenal and wait for tempo into most decks. Yeah. That's what you're doing. But then you sit in front of Wizard, everything you know goes out the window. Yeah. And you sit in front of Dory, everything you know goes out the window. It's like, no, don't block that. But it's like, no, but don't block that. But
don't block that. It's swing for 3. It's going to swing for fucking 9 later, bro.
Dude, what do you mean 9? I did 21 to someone off a 3.
My brother in Christ, I haven't played this game in a while.
Man, did you hear I did all right at a Pro Tour? Oh. Did you hear the news?
No.
Nah, it doesn't even reach it. It's fine.
Dude, actually, I remember on the Andy podcast, I didn't know you guys mentioned me until 2 people come to the store looking through bulk, and they point at me and like, "Are you James?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's time to change passports, change identity, and all that." I'm like, "I've been
witness protection."
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh God, they found me out." And then I'm like, "Oh, how'd you know?"
We're fans.
Yeah, but then I was scared for my damn life. I'm like, oh shit. But
James's checklist is like, did I sleep with anyone's girlfriend?
And
do I owe anyone money?
And I'm like, no, okay, what's my Tinder profile? Who did I chat to? Nah.
Do you have a Tinder profile?
No, I used to.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
It's bad.
It's trash. Dookie.
It's dookie.
It's dookie, bro. Fat, stinky dookie. But when it comes when and see like, oh yeah, you've been mentioned in Thunder. I'm like, the fuck's Thunder? And then I go to the podcast and I'm like, oh, it's Timmy and John, and then eventually goes to the Twitter thing. Oh, do you follow me on Twitter? No, James runs the Twitter. Well, and then you mentioned that the Chromatic Games Twitter doesn't follow you back. I'm like, bullshit. I check, it's not followed. And I immediately, I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, John. and I followed the told him on the Twitter.
Speaking of Twitter,
yeah.
I had a big competition with Uzi Squirt, the cosplayer from the US. I actually overtook her in followers, you know.
Oi.
Great account to follow, James.
I mean, depends what you like.
Oof.
She's a cosplayer.
She's been on Thunder. Yeah, great guest. One of our best.
I'm not giving her free compliments.
Oh. But yeah, John beat it to the punch, right?
Well, no, she got to 1,500 before me, but now I'm ahead. Yeah,
Okay, nice.
winning.
I'm gonna make 7
It's-
Twitter accounts
it's-
just to follow you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, don't say that, man. No bot accounts.
Yeah, I got you, man.
don't confirm bot accounts.
But going like to new players, I Tariq Patel. I don't know
Yep.
if you know who he is, James. Okay.
Original US champion.
Yeah, so he's a Canadian guy. He was living in America, and
Is this the same guy that pronounced Levy as Levia? Or is this someone completely different?
no, I don't think that's him.
No.
But he ex Magic player, right? Like really good, really high level Magic player on the Star City circuit and all this. Anyway, came into Fab. He'd only been playing it for a brief moment, and then Canadian living in America entered in the US national champs and won that. Became the US national champion, and then became the Canadian national champion. Right, so he was basically holding 2 belts. Right. Anyway, he was on a podcast. I can't even remember what it was, but he had a really good way because he often talks to his Magic friends about Fab. Because especially when he first got into Fab, they're like, what are you playing this game for? And he tried to explain how the game mechanics work, or he'd play a game with them. I thought this was a very, very good way to explain to especially Magic players. And I tried to explain it to my friend, but I think I fluffed it. I said to him, I go, Magic is all about building a board state, building momentum, right? Setting up, and don't get me wrong, you do a bit of this in Fab too, okay? But Magic can sometimes be a little bit more long-term. I said, you have to approach Fab every turn, essentially as a hard reset. Okay?
It's like a mini game.
It's a mini game. You have a turn, I have a turn, it's a mini game. If you beat me on that life exchange in that mini game, and you do that enough times over the course of the game, you'll win. You win enough of these one-turn mini games, you're going to win. But you really need to sort of get the previous turns out of your head when you approach the next turn cycle. Okay, and because I still struggle with that as a Magic player. It's very hard for a Magic player to think, to approach a TCG that way, where the turn resets. You know, in Magic, you just would not think. You just don't think that way. So that'd be I don't know if that sort of hindered or helped him. To be honest, maybe it was a little bit too much of an advanced concept to sort of go down the rabbit hole. But I just thought that was quite good what Tariq said as a way to explain to new people. Just think of it as a 2-turn mini game. If
The
you
thing is, though, again, having not played Magic, and again, compare the start of the game, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I've never played 2 Fab games that felt entirely the same.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
If I go first or second, changes what happens. Even if I play into the closest thing have been like the very broken decks, like Viz in Blitz, where it's non-interactive. But then the people that say that's like Magic, where it's like, I'm playing my deck, you're playing your deck, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of card games end up like that. They're like, it's a combo type game where you're not necessarily interacting. Now, when I get pissed off at Fab, it's because it's not interactive. So Starvo was not very interactive.
Yeah.
Even if I put all the D reacts in and did everything correct, you only had to get a little lucky and suddenly I'm discarding 3 and I have a Frostbite, and there's actually like infinite tempo swing after a couple of cripplings or whatever. The game's
dominating
over.
crush.
The game's just over, right? Wizards feel a little like that. You have to like... Kano, not so much, because Kano's so fragile. Even though sometimes you've already lost on turn 0, you're always ahead on life till you die. Like, you'll get Kano to 1. At least you felt like you were in it, even though when you start really learning, you realize you were never in it. Like, like the second you dipped under 13 life, you were already dead. He was just waiting to draw the last card he needs, right? But I feel like that's the good and bad thing about Fab is you can't just necessarily goldfish. You can't sit there and ignore, because if you ignore a Briar going off with snatches, and then you're just going to die.
Yeah.
and you can't ignore a Dorinthia Dawnblade swing. Actually, sometimes it's the best strategy is to ignore Dorinthia. That's where people fuck up, is they go, oh, it's got an on hit, I'll block it. It's like, actually, the best people that beat me all the time, usually the ones that don't block at all. Because they're now forcing me to rely on my luck of the draw versus their consistent deck. So like Dash shouldn't really block Dory. Even a Glistening turn. Okay, you want 3 counters, have 3 counters. They can still hit you for 18 every turn. And I need time to ramp up, and they don't. They just start up here. Like my ramp up will beat a Dash. It'll get higher. You know, eventually my Dawnblade will swing for infinity if you keep letting me hit you. But Dash is always 18 a turn. Like, it can't really miss. Yeah. So sometimes it's better not to block. But you don't learn these things by playing yourself. You have to play into those decks.
It's like a matchup thing, like learning the matchup thing.
Yeah, which
very
is,
important.
I don't know mathematically what it looks like, but if there's 20 heroes and then the constant matchup is 20 to the square root to the power 20, whatever, it's not that big.
Yeah.
It's probably 20 to the power of 2.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But it's a lot. There's a lot of variables. Plus, each deck is not necessarily the same archetype as, like, you know, you can play Saber's Bolt and you can play, and some people just have a completely different take. Yeah. Like Bulllander One Worlds, it's not a normal Icelander deck. Now it's the normal Icelander deck with these big attacks in it, but it didn't used to be.
Like these efficient cards like Fendel, Spiting.
Yeah, that's not a normal wizard deck. Like why am I getting hit with Guardian numbers? But that's the point is you can do that. And then that's the splashy bit is...
that's splash.
These are generics you can put in every deck, but really... they're terrible in Fi. Like, you couldn't put Final's Fighting Spirit in Fi. It wouldn't work. I put him in Dory, though. But that's where it's quite complex. And we're in it. I'm a year in or a bit more. So I sort of see... So when a new hero comes out, all I have to do is learn that one new hero and then guess about how it interacts. I don't have to... I remember, you know, if you've ever tried to learn a MOBA like Dota or League of Legends from scratch.
It's rough.
Like when my friends have asked or my sister's like, oh, teach me how to play League. I'm like, look, sis, it's easier to learn chess.
Whoa.
Man, Dota, the variables, man. There's like 80 heroes.
Just because it's been around too long.
But it's 80 heroes and it's teams of 5. So it's like a combination of 5v5 of any of those 80s.
You also have to think about, like, do I want this barrack now? Do I want to, like, destroy these barracks? Like, when can we push these barracks? It's not even that. It's just purely going, okay, I'm this fairy looking thing. It's cute, so I picked it. And then in my lane against me, there's an archer. And I have no fucking idea what an archer does. And that will make me die. Yeah. And the second I die, I've given tempo to the enemy team. And when I've died more than once, it's probably over. So you actually don't even learn... because you don't know. So to learn it, the way we learned it back when it was a Warcraft mod, it was a lot less than 80. And also it was a casual mod, so there was less pressure. So you just like Goldfish to beat. You just played your hero, built whatever janky items you wanted. But then slowly when you've picked all the heroes and you tried them all, then you could get a sense of like, oh, I can big brain this. I've seen they pick this character, I'll pick this one. It counters that one. But like, Fab is going to feel like that if the hero pool ends up 30, 40 heroes. You can't be a new player and jump in and go, I know all the heroes. You'll need to very much learn the basics. Like what cards are common? How, like Command and Conquer is something a new player should learn to deal with. How do you deal with Command and Conquer? Crown of Providence, 2 cards from hand. That's pretty much your only options, right?
And if they pummel you, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's more of them problems. They get pummeled because they're in the seed.
If you get pummeled, high five your opponent to the face.
If you get pummeled, you just pack up because like pack your shit up.
What color pummel's the worst?
What kind of pummel's the worst? They're all bad.
What's the worst one?
What's the worst one? What's gonna hit me harder? The red one, I guess.
It's the blue one, man.
Oh, true.
The fucking blue one. You get hit by pummel for 1 over or for 2 over. You just like, you know, it's like, just feels dirty. You're like,
hey, yo.
Really? 2? I just had to throw like 2?
Is like, really 1? And it has an on hit. Oh, fuck yeah.
But it's like, it's from a terror center, so you actually lose 3 cards. You want to lose 1 life and 3 cards.
It's the worst feeling playing against Bravo, and they have no cards in hand. They've pitched 2 blues, present the hammer for 6, floating 2, 1 in their arsenal. You've got your full grip, and you're just like, fuck, like, is it there? Isn't it there? You've got the gas hand. You've got the hand. You're just like, I don't want to lose a card right now.
Well, you won't off a hammer, but you will die.
Yeah.
Because that hammer will go plus...
Well,
you'll take 6 extra 6 plus 2 to the hammer and 4. Yeah.
Jesus
the trick
Christ.
with Bravo is you can... If they're on low life,
Right. Yeah.
you can make the hammer go from 6 to 10.
Yes.
No, more than that. It's a 5. What happens?
No, it's 6. It goes to 6.
Yeah, that's right. It goes to 10, but what does it start at 5? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so it goes plus 5. So it's hard to do those maths when you don't understand. And yeah, you can just die because like you'll go, it's coming in for 5, I'm going to block 4, put me to 1. And then you go, no, shit, they might have a pummel. So you block 8. That'll put me to 1. Right? But actually it buffs the hammer.
Yeah, because they pitch another blue that buffs the hammer.
And then you just die.
They're saying Bravo's back, baby. People are saying Bravo's strong in
but people have been
CC.
saying Bravo's back for a long
They have, haven't they?
You know what the problem is?
What is Bravo's problem?
I came 42nd at Pro Tour. Do you know why? Because people stopped practicing in Tadori. It's not because I'm good. It's true. I played well, but it wasn't because I was playing well. People really fucked up into my Dory. Bravo's the same. Where are the one tricks? Yeah, throw Kale in any room. He will perform well. He'll probably top 8 most of these competitions he goes to, right? Because he knows his deck, which means he knows his deck into those matchups. But do not go sleeve up Bravo for the ProQuest season if you've never played it before. Don't do that. Play the deck you know. Like Fab is not a game that leans... Like some people have the brain to switch and play well, but Bravo's not a deck. You tried it. It's not a deck you grab and try and play. That takes reps.
It does. It's easy to get a grasp of at the start what to do.
No, but then you have to then relearn all your mechanics into other decks. Like
Yeah.
your card value on Bravo is very different. Like you learn, you have to block a lot. Like wait, I thought it's like swing like pummel. It's like no. You set up. You have to bait them into a sense of security and then pummel them. A pummel on turn 1 does nothing to the game. It does nothing. Like okay, they lose a card, they're just gonna swing Arsenal pass. It doesn't matter. It's like later when they're low life, when a pummel will kill them.
And depending on the matchup, sometimes the Bravo hero ability's good and sometimes it's fucking useless.
Yeah,
You're just wasting, it's a complete waste.
Well, especially if you're losing an Arsenal. That's what I mean. That's not is Bravo back in theory? Yes, but how many Bravo players are left? That's my real...
true.
Like, how many Bravo mains are there? That's why I stick to Dory. My time comes and goes. Like, some metas I feel strong. Other metas I don't feel strong. Right? But I'm consistently on one deck I'm very good at. But if you... I don't... We do not know a single Bravo player.
I
Not a
think,
one... the only one I knew was Evan.
No, sure.
He was the only one
Sure,
true.
but he's very casual. Like, even then, wasn't really competitive, right? Wasn't Not that he's not good, but he wasn't turning up to every ProQuest or anything. He was turning up, but see him as often. Like, the only one I think of is Roy, just because he plays Guardian so much. Could probably switch, but Oldham and Bravo are like chalk and cheese. They're not the same. They share like 4 cards. And a similar type of pitch value, like pitch a couple of blues to do, but they're very different. That's my argument to anything being strong in a meta. It's like, yeah, but how many people are still playing it? Because you get our Reinar friend, he nearly won a ProQuest, shouldn't be winning a ProQuest on run, but he's just better. He's only ever played Reinars. It's not true. He plays other decks, but like he's just very good at it. Like because he doesn't have to overthink his deck. He spends his time and resources thinking about yours. Well, if you're like not as sharp on yours, then you're missing like you're not paying attention to their...
I find with Fab, though, you need to pick a deck that resonates. Well, okay, I need to pick a deck, and I know other people are similar to me, speaking about our mutual friend too. You need to pick a mechanic or a way the deck plays that suits your brain.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Bravo
agree,
with me with Blitz, the way it was very defensive and not pushing damage and setting up
counterintuitive
turns.
to you. Yeah.
My brain just doesn't really work that way. Our mutual friend, the Reinar expert, he's having a bit of problems at the moment
With CC,
with
yeah.
CC because all the strong Reinar CC builds at the moment they don't resonate with him.
Well, that's my issue with Dory. Is what sometimes is strong on Dory, like Saber Dagger.
Yeah.
Is quite good. Like I can beat this dumb fatigue dash bullcrap. I don't want to play it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, even if it's good, it's like,
feels,
this is not Dory. Dory has a Dawn Blade. The Dawn Blade gets fat.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I want to poke you with my Dawn Blade for 10. That's what I want to do. I don't want to play 2-1 pass. I don't want to play that. No, I play Ninja. Like
Kasai.
Well, Kasai's fun because Kasai's poke so that she can go
Combo.
and you die. Like, that's fun. Also, her fridge is way better than Dory's, like, because those boots heal up. Like, you can do the same type of thing, but she's making coppers every time she hits you. Like, her ability says make a copper. So you can, like, run cash-ins and play Royal Kasai. It's really fun. If there was adult Kasai, that's exactly what I'd play when the meta required me to play that mid-range. But yeah, you're right. If it doesn't resonate, why play it? Or if you have to switch...
I saw Arachne. Like, I've played against Arachne a fair amount now. Okay, over the last month. Played against Arachne at a bunch of armors. I played against Arachne when it first came out. I haven't played Talishar in actually probably a month now. But when it first came out, I played a few times. Anyway, I knew the deck was strong. I saw it do some cool things. But shit, last Thursday, I played against Arachne, and they won the dice roll. They decided to go first. I was on Briar. Oh, no, sorry. Correction. I won the dice roll. I decided to go second, right? Bright, I'm thinking go second. And I drew up my hand and I saw 2 no blocks. Like, fuck. 2 no blocks and 2 blocks. Oh, here we go. Holy shit. That Arachne person, not only like only with a 4-card hand, had the best Arachne turn I've ever seen.
How many coppers?
They ended the turn with 6 silvers. Turn one did 12 damage to me over the top and ended with 6 silvers. They activated the booties, and I think they went 4 or 5 wide. Art of War as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Art of War.
Holy
Talk about
shit.
splash cards.
But when he pops off
Art of War
the
is like...
I didn't realise Arachne could go off. That's the first time I've seen Arachne go off.
Our mutual friend runs Art of War in Rhina for the same reason. You can say next attack is go again. That's the thing. Arachne struggles with go again. So you got boots and an Art of War. You now have 3 attacks, which normally you don't. And if you're happy to do that, to use the boots immediately, no one's expecting you to come in for 3 attacks on Arachne.
Couldn't believe it. It was their turn 2, and they had 1 gold because of the crown, and freaking 6 silvers starting their turn. And
that's when you play Kylori and go, give me the gold.
Oh, what? You can do that?
Gold says item.
Oh, cool.
So when I played, I don't know if you know this, if you're playing Dory into Dromai, Spoils of War says on hit, make 2 coppers. So you make sure you make some coppers. And then when Kylori hits you, you go, here's a copper. They don't get to draw a card. So the minute you've had 1 turn with if you hit Spoils of War twice, you have 4 coppers. There's 3 Kyloris in the deck. Kylori is just a 4 attack. No longer draws a card. It's very good. You'd nearly take Kylori out of your deck because it's not impactful if it doesn't have the draw effect.
What do you like to play in Fab, James? I saw
Doesn't
you.
play Fab.
I did a little research before you came on, James.
You've been stalking me.
I looked at your 16 lifetime XP. Very impressive.
Bro.
So tell me, what do you enjoy to play?
I did enjoy I had a Kano phase during Arcane.
You are a filthy little man, aren't you?
Meet me Friday night. I'll show you.
Whoa!
Yeah, take that 3 Arcane. You like it, nah.
You play it in CC?
Nah.
Okay.
Actually, I did play it in CC. It was the first army I went to, and it was the first time I met Hayden. I got thrashed in the armory. And then, Fab kind of slowly got calmed down from there because of COVID. And when I get back up, when I went to first time I went to Chromatic Games, I then picked up Oldham. And when Hayden came to the store, he's like, "You're the Kano guy, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't talk to me about Kano."
He loves Kano.
Oh yeah. But then eventually, I then took a break, of course, And then
you went away for a bit, right?
Yeah, for a bit, and
Yeah.
I gone back to the game playing Arachne, and then people were like, "Oh yeah, new class," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play it." And then like when Arachne was released, I was borrowing cards, playing the class, and like in regards to like the resonation point before that you guys mentioned, it really resonated with me. Just looking on top and then
Yes.
having that decision, and you're like, you're going into the IRA, you see a blue pitch, and you're like, you can have that on the bottom, you filthy casual.
That's the strong bit about Arachne.
It's like getting that knowledge, right?
You know, there's
yeah.
an assassin next set.
Yeah.
That's
Is it?
yes,
Oh,
confirmed.
okay.
So we don't know if it's Arachne or a new assassin.
Yeah, like that's.
But it
based
doesn't
around
really
stealth
matter.
stuff,
It's just
yeah.
that class is going to get a
Yeah,
whole lot of
yeah.
new toys.
Mm,
That's the cool thing. Like if it's in the set, there should be at least one legendary for it, a whole bunch of majestics for it. You know what I mean? It's going to be.
You're really pitching me the idea of just like one trick ponying.
Look,
I think
I've
Arachne's
played
good.
many
Yeah,
decks. Like
yeah,
I've switched
yeah,
decks.
yeah.
It's just 90% of what I've played Oldham. I've played
Yeah,
Kano. I've
yeah.
played. I haven't played a Ranger yet, but I want to try Azalea. Azalea's in the next.
You played
That's
Prism?
pretty sick, yeah.
Sorry,
You've played Prism.
I've played Prism.
Dromai.
Yeah. But
Kasai.
I go back. Like I know what my main deck is. Doesn't like same as gaming. Like when you're
Yeah,
gaming, you can play any hero you want. You can play any class you want. It's good to specialize because you're just
Yeah,
better
like
at it.
being a carrying
Yeah.
specialist, yeah.
Yeah, like in shooting games, I like sniping. Like I'm an AWPer and Counter Strike. I can do everything else but if you want me at my best, you throw me the sniper
Yeah,
rifle.
I'm like,
Does it-
I'll buy you a sniper for you. Just fucking
Exactly.
snipe him, bro.
But that's
Go long B, yeah.
yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like you sometimes you just you're better off known for like the thing you're good at.
Yeah.
Same as like actually in Counter Strike is the support player that you need. You need someone that can land the flashbangs
Yeah.
and smokes from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like if they know all the angles,
Yeah.
that's the player you want on your team. Is that specialist?
Yeah.
Team Blitz is the same. Like everyone overthought Team Blitz. They're like, oh, meta. Where do we sit? I'm like, with our team, I'm like, no one's fucking asking questions or interrupting me when we're playing. So pick your best deck. You know what I mean? And none of us like the only questions we'd ask each other is like, if they were versing a Dory, they would ask me a question. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right,
what
right.
armor should I use? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's in the middle of the game. We weren't playing like new decks just because they're good. We were playing what we knew to play, and it worked out. We did well. We did better than much better players who probably switched decks and you know what I mean. Like people that still to this day,
they'll switch around kind of shit.
man. Everyone that goes to like one of these big events like Worlds, and like the night before, people are posting on Facebook, "Hey, I'm looking for 3 of this card." I'm like,
3-minute wizards.
how are you not ready the night before?
Yeah, the night
like, how are you even like, man? At anything competitive I've ever did the night before, you do jack shit. You eat and you sleep. You
Yeah.
actually try your best not to even think about the game. Like you don't even touch cards.
Yeah,
Like I know it's fun, but
you just
you're,
chill,
you're,
yeah.
you're better off missing the cards. Like you've said this before. You've got X amount of like card playing ability. Why waste it on like the night before in
Yeah.
the lobby? Like
Our mutual friend's the same, Mr. Gordon.
You can't play forever.
He'll get to an armory 3 hours beforehand, and he won't play a game with his deck before the armory starts because he just doesn't like to do that.
Yeah.
He'll play a different deck or muck around.
You should put all your practice hours in way before the event.
way
And you should be
before, yeah.
look. I understand that maybe you're like you were not sure about those 3 cards leading up to the event, but if that's actually the case, you should have those 3 cards on you.
Just
If
in
that's like
case,
all that's left is these 3 or these 3, you should have them in your bag. It's so crazy to me that you've added stress to yourself the night before the
Night
big event.
before.
Like just even having to think about it is stressful.
Like I think so. This is a mate of mine who was preparing for a fighting game event, right? And I haven't played in ages, but he's like, "Oh, can we get some practice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I proceeded to beat him 13-0 at first, and a 1-2 setting, and that's only because I'm telling him. So, have you guys heard of Guilty Gear or no? So they have a defensive system called burst. While you're getting hit or you're blocking, you can press burst and like you can get out of it. It's like a push away thing. However, it is blockable. So and in Guilty Gear, you can block in the air. So a lot of times, I'm always like doing something called a burst bait. I'll
Right.
hit him, jump, block, and he'd burst, and then it's very punishable. So
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I'm like, And I told him like 8 times in a row in one match in like span of 10 minutes, stop bursting. Like just take it, just take the damage, kind of shit. And I think it's like I added stress to himself, like he didn't go to the event the next day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know, was it Conor McGregor, like some big MMA fighter?
Right.
Like if you're like a fighter, like even a boxer, when you're sparring, you're not winning all the time. Yeah. Most people in the fighting world, their coaches beat them up because they know exactly what you're gonna do all the time. Their job is to watch you.
Sure.
So it's important in like the fighting world when the guy's about to go into that championship matches, you don't let them win, but you definitely make sure you're not winning. They need to go in feeling bulletproof. You do not create doubt the day before. That's my point. Yeah. You do not leave doubt in the champion's mind that he's the champion. Yeah. Even if you the only reason you can beat him is he's trusted you enough to fight you and show you all his tricks every day. So of course you can beat him. Do you know what I mean? Like when me and my brother do jiu-jitsu, it's very equal, even though he's much more experienced. Just because I know how he's going to move specifically out of everyone else. I watch him with other people, he smashes them. But I'm like, yeah, but I know what Simon does. I know his little Weasley fucking tricks. Like I said, because we've spent the time. It's not the same. It's not equal. With a stranger, no one has that knowledge. And that's why you shouldn't add stress the day before. You shouldn't like, by the way, that trick he was doing, bursting at the exact right moment, might be the right moment 99% of times in the tournament. It's just bad into you. But he's just caused doubt for himself. He's like, shit, this kid in Chromatic keeps beating me.
Well, why is he jumping and blocking me, bro? What the fuck?
Maybe you should have gone to the tournament.
I think I'm the problem. It's my fault.
Well, clearly, you're good.
So do you play much games recreationally outside of working, or do you just not have time?
Recreationally, I've now gone to the dark pits of YouTube shorts. And I'm just like...
death scroll.
Yeah, I'm like... that's a funny cat kind of stuff, right? And I'm like,
why don't you make YouTube videos?
I don't know.
You should.
I should.
I've seen some of your content.
My content?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Which content?
Just whenever
your
you
little
post
memes and your
about
little...
Oh, my Facebook stuff.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything really?
Any videos with you in them are fucking hilarious.
Thanks for that.
I'm serious.
I try my best.
Yeah, we're huge fans.
Hey, can you write poetry?
Can I write? I mean, I finished school, so yeah.
Because we need a poetry guest. We have an opening,
Oh, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, we've got a filthy Frenchman that needs to be challenged.
Yeah, you challenged him before.
I think I heard of him during the podcast.
That sounds Mexican. He does. He looks a bit Mexican, Phil. If you just did the mustache down.
Oh, the mustache down, right?
Jeez, I got a really inappropriate joke right now, but I just won't say it.
Don't think it. You're not going to say it.
No, I'm constantly catching words that come out of my mouth. Heaps of people say to me when I'm watching, and yeah, sure, I do space out sometimes, but a lot of times when people watch my YouTube videos and I pause, they don't realize this because I'm about to say something and then my brain catches up and then stops me from saying it because I know how inappropriate it could be or how people... And then I have to rethink about something else to say but still get my point across. Fucking happens all the time.
Do people hit you up saying you look like you're spaced out?
No, but sometimes people have said, not spaced out, but I might pause a lot between words or I might slow down or,
I think... people should sit in this chair before giving you advice.
Yeah. I
get sent advice. I'm like, it's tricky being...
It's hard.
The host. Because you're the host too. So we have to think about, this is our show. We have to ask you questions. And as you notice, this is all off cuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easier when we write questions down. Yeah. But it also makes it a bit more surgical. We don't want to... We usually have a theme, roughly what we want to talk. You're an LGS worker. We know you. But we just want to talk. My problem is, because I'm Lebanese, if you've ever been around Lebanese people, if I'm your friend, I'm talking over you. If I'm I don't know you at all, I'll shut up and listen. But I actually in our culture, and I know this in my personal life already, at home we talk over each other, but then you go to your girlfriend's house and they're all white. it's a completely different mood. So I get told, you talk over people all the time. Like, that's when I'm comfortable. That's the problem. When the professor came on, never talk over the professor because I'm like, he's a stranger and I'm trying to like listen. But when it's like friends, it's hard for me. But it's the same, like having the audio in your head, having recording, checking the time, knowing that you got to keep some momentum going.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you do, because you thought of the question, you're like, oh, that's not going to, or it's rude or inappropriate, or you're about to drop a name of someone and call them out when you're not trying to cause shit. I've already been in trouble because I talked about some stuff on here just because I'm talking to friends.
Yeah.
Like, shit, maybe you shouldn't put that out in the open. It's just that. It's just that. Don't. I think, like, I rewatch our shows.
Yeah, same.
They're never perfect. There's not a single one that's perfect. We from where we started, we're doing fucking amazing. Like, the quality's very good. That's also why people watch it. We will get better.
I've had
We'll get better guests as well. Sorry about this week, guys.
Hey,
We ran out of
I
options.
understand what's going on. But
I said to one person I had, this is I don't know, a couple months ago, someone said, let your guests maybe speak more, this and that, which John and myself try to do, and I think we've improved on over the year. But I often said, I said to the guy, I said, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we don't do interviews here.
No.
If this was an interview, I ask you a question, I stop. This is a conversation. I said, when you're hanging out with your mates, like John said, and having a conversation, do you all wait precisely for each person to get out their very last thought? Generally not. You do respect each other, but it's free flowing.
But it's actually because we're comfortable. That's what I'm trying to say. It's only when I'm comfortable I'm letting loose. If this was a job interview, I'm a different person. But I'm not we're never ever acting. The closest we come to acting was with the professor. We did not know the guy. We'd met him the night before, and then he's in our hotel recording. We have a lot, like you've met him before, but we are not on friends terms. He's a friendly guy, but this is like a huge moment for us. I'm a little bit starstruck because like I've only watched his video. Suddenly he's in the room, right?
yeah.
It's a different persona, but that's not how I will treat anyone listening to this podcast.
Like right now we're vibing kind of shit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, you and I, our character types are very outgoing. We're very outgoing people. You're very outgoing too, but you're way more toned down version than when we meet you in the store because you're new to this. So it's our job. We carry it. Like at the end of the day. Also, we've had shyer guests where anyway, I agree. This is just us and our mates most of the time.
Yeah.
So if we're talking, by the way, the thing is, anytime we're taking up space, it's usually the topic's pretty good and we have good thoughts about it. I don't think we take up space because we want attention. Like, it's not that kind of thing anyway.
I don't think it comes across that way.
I don't think so. Also, subscribe and like. We keep forgetting.
Oh, but we're growing.
That's
we're
true.
over 700, baby.
Make sure
Yeah, we're like 703, 704.
Make sure to
That's
follow
how long it's
at
been since I
Fluke
checked.
and Box
Yes.
on Twitter and at thetalltimmy _ on Twitter.
Don't do our shout-outs for us, man. What the fuck?
Hey,
We're professionals here.
we're comfortable here.
No. We're comfortable.
Mate, where is the Chromatic Games freaking shirt? I'm surprised Andy didn't send you here with a little bit of
It's in the wash.
branding in the wash. Yeah,
in
you're
the
a
wash.
filthy Kano player. That's why.
I gotta like get that arcane damage off the shirt real quick. Yeah.
Cleanse yourself for all those sins you've committed
that yellow
at those
zap, bro.
armories. But yeah, no. So we appreciate all the support. We are growing. People are subscribing because we are actually asking people to subscribe.
Yeah, but we really got to ask at the start.
I know. I forgot. My bad.
No, we both forget. It's not
Yeah.
on you. Like, it's something you just want to do. Look, they're long videos, so it's statistically the start will get watched a lot more than the end. It just is what it is.
Well,
What we need to do is we need to find someone to record some shorts. Like, go through our. Because it'd be good if an episode comes out and you post a short about it or two. But yeah. Any last words before we throw you off?
Make sure to follow Chromatic Games on
I'll
Facebook,
put the Twitch and Facebook and everything below. Do you still stream a bit?
Oh, we stream a bit, but right now the streaming area is used for sorting cars at the moment because that big, massive boxes of bulk. We're finally sorting that out. So once we get sorted that out, we're gonna move it everything in the back, and then eventually we're gonna go back to streaming. So yeah.
When's your pro quest for Flesh and Blood?
I'm gonna check.
Don't check. It's fine. It's coming up.
It's coming up.
It's somewhere. You guys gotta put the Facebook link on the video, right?
I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I believe we're streaming it.
Yeah,
We're correct. We're going to be streaming.
Might be the only one we
check
end up
out
streaming
ProQuest
at
and
this
Chromatic
rate.
Games. Where Tall Timmy and
And
I've got videos in
Fluke
your
and
store. We
box.
both do.
no,
Yeah.
John will be playing, right? And Nick,
I'll be
and,
playing.
Nick and myself will be
I know you're commentating
with Nick
with
Butcher.
Nick.
Yeah.
All right.
Who?
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 Exactly.
Australia's
Good
champion.
work, guys. No,
Australia's
keep it at who? We don't need to.
Australia's
All right.
champ.
Make sure to join our ProQuest where we have the Tall Timmy and someone else who's commentating. The
Someone else. Just the Australian champion. You know?
yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That Yu-Gi-Oh player, right?
Yeah. Something about Imperial Warrior or something. I don't know.
No, but thanks, James. Thanks for coming out.
Bro, thanks
It's
for
been good to
having
hang
me
out.
Yeah.
And I look forward to catching up at the ProQuest.
Are you going to play?
Nah, I'll be helping out at the store.
Yeah, you're a good man. Tell Andy we say g'day
Yep.
and all the best for this year.
All good.
Hopefully we
Thank
see
you.
some massive armories out there, and hopefully, are you sold out yet for the ProQuest?
No, not at the moment. No,
But
no.
what's the capacity of the store?
I counted. I counted about 54 or so.
That's the cap for it, or is that how much you've sold so far?
That's a cap.
Okay.
Yeah, because at
Okay.
the moment I did count. The
How many
tables.
tickets are capped? What are the tickets capped at? Do you know?
Should be about 30 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But technically, he could keep
He could
releasing.
increase the cap.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you wouldn't, man. You wouldn't want 54 people. Like if there's like no room to move, you know what I mean? Because it's not the style of your store is not like an auditorium, you know.
Yeah.
Like the tables are at the wall, so you need to go all the way.
Yeah, like we're not the ICC.
Like even the yeah. But I mean, mind you, if he sells 54 tickets, might be able to afford a venue, you know. Maybe.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Go to the ICC instead.
Yeah, exactly. See you there. Also, when are you getting like a mascot costume? That's what he should be. When
Oh,
there's a
when
big
am I
event, you
getting-
should have a chromatic
Dude,
mascot
I don't
costume.
know. You guys just want me to have like, what's it, the little card dices like strapped around my neck going up.
Now I want those real hangover vibes from you, James.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hangover vibes. So you like want like a blanket down here kind of thing.
Something like
And
that.
you're like, is that a shiitake mushroom, bro?
Yeah, you said it, not me. I was waiting. I was thinking, is he going to say it?
Dude, those eyes scream, please say it. Please say it.
All right.
Cheers, James.
See you guys.
All good. See you guys.
What are we doing next week?
We're having the world's filthiest Kano player on.
Oh, that's right. He might be.
He just
maybe.
he just failed his level 2 judge exam.
Yeah, and then
Jeez.
he called out.
Called out, baby, and he's going to be reattempting before he comes on next week.
Yeah, he's not allowed on unless he passes.
Yeah, unless he passes, he's not coming on. So we're going to have the world's filthiest Kano player
Filthy.
on next week.
Very
Absolutely
nice.
filthy.
I'm not even gonna wash the chair or the microphone when he comes. Just leave it as is.
And then James, please, please.
Yep.
You've been with Andy for a while.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know your employment status, but treat yourself to a couple of days away in Auckland.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
You guys
there.
should come to Auckland.
You guys.
Yeah, you and Andy, or just
Yeah.
yourself, or it'd be good.
When about is it?
End of Feb, 24th.
End of Feb.
Yeah, 24th, 25th, 26th, I think.
It's not crazy expensive.
I'll have
you
a
know?
squiz. I'll see if I have
But
enough.
also the Battle Harden is Blitz, which I was talking to some people that like haven't been to some of these big events, but they win armories all the time. Like, you know, it's just an armory, just times 2, really. Like you do basically 2 armories in a row.
Yeah, about
6
8
to 8
rounds.
rounds, right?
Yeah, 6 to 8 rounds.
If you always win 3 or 4 matches in your armory, then if you can do that performance, you'll top 8 the Battle Harden. And then it's $500 gold foil and a PTI.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
easily your trip paid for, plus probably $1,000 in your
Yeah.
pocket or more. It's crazy not to go when it's this close.
Yeah.
Like these events don't come around. That's what people need to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
You may not have a calling till next year, till 2024 now.
Yeah.
This is it.
These things like come and go like real
Well,
quick.
no, in our region, like I think we'll see another one in Asia,
Oh yeah.
but that's much further than New Zealand usually. Like
Yeah.
cost and stuff, it's not as
It's
easy.
only a couple of hours away from Australia. You're going to have a lot of the LSS staff there. You know, there's going to be some sweet
Yeah, come
artists.
meet James White, the
Yeah.
other James.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
only you and him. That's it.
That's
Alright,
right.
So okay, I'll just kayak my way to New Zealand.
That's right.
We'll put you in a suitcase.
yeah, you're small enough.
Oh yeah, fit me in like a nice big one.
Because we got to take the funder set up. I'll fit you in there. Just look after the cameras.
No, I am the funder.
You
Like,
are-
I'm like hiding under the camera. And like, oh, what's that? And like, oh,
That's
It's
our
like-
tripod.
That's a tripod.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I was like,
That's a good way.
and I'm holding the camera up like that.
That's a
and I'm
good. That's a good title of the episode. The human tripod.
Like, human tripod.
Can we? That's not the right joke.
A flesh and blood podcast. The human tripod.
Human
No, I'm gonna.
tripod.
I'm just gonna say what it's like. I'll make a Kim Jong Un joke. You know,
Ah,
Dear leader.
I'll use Photoshop to.
no. It's a clickbait title. We talk with the North Korean dictator about flesh and blood today.
Yeah.
could do that if you- is that what
Please
you
come in
want?
costume next time, James.
Yeah, I thought he was
Fuck.
coming in costume. Is there any reason I said yes?
What's up?
I thought you were coming in costume, cosplay, something.
Ah,
I was expecting tits.
Oh.
That was not counting. This is not counting. Mine are bigger.
well, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Do you want to sing the outro song
Yeah.
as we go?
I forgot. That's what I'm
All
going
right.
to say.
Well, I can't promise when, but
Yeah.
James will be back at some point because no doubt
In
when
costume.
James
In
gets
costume.
comfortable, you'll even see a more animated side to James. We'll probably have to restrain him and get pretty.
We forgot to give him the. It's the drugs we forgot to give him. Next
What?
time we'll just make him a coffee before the episode.
Yeah, you guys forgot my 5 kilometers per hour cocaine, bro. What's that?
Sorry. On that note, see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Woo!